The kinnis is coming back together with family. It's being together with your brothers on shlichus who are all out there in the field doing the Rebbe shlichus. When you sit at the banquet and you have shluchim literally from all over the world, the energy of that is so powerful. Coming back from the kinnis every year, you come back with a renewed energy. It inspires ourselves, our families, our communities for a whole nother year.
It was 13 years ago. I came to the kinus. Sometimes all your friends come, sometimes they can't. It didn't seem odd to me that I didn't see Gabi. But when I came home and we heard that something is going on in Mumbai, our heart wasn't in Guatemala. Our heart was there.
I recall that us in New York, those shluchim who remained, a message went out that prayers are needed. And of course, globally, prayers were being said. There was great concern in general for the people of India, but in particular for our close family of shluchim in the Jewish community.
A lot of mist swirling around. We weren't sure what was happening, who was there, who wasn't there, whether they were okay, whether they were not. And gradually, when it dawned upon us what was actually going on, it brought our high shattering down to the ground.
This little boy's life was one of the many lives forever changed by the Mumbai terror attacks. His family lived in New York before moving to India as part of a Jewish outreach group. Their mission, help people dealing with drug addiction and poverty. The child's mother and father, who was a rabbi, along with 4 others, were shot to death when militants stormed the organization's local headquarters. A nanny who had been working at the Shabbat house was able to find a hiding place when the attack started. When it was all over, she discovered little Moshe Holzberg crying beside his parents' bodies.
It was as if our brother and sister were being held captive. And when we heard the news that they were killed, it was beyond devastating.
Baruch Hashem, within about 3 weeks after this, we were blessed with a child, we were blessed with a son. We both felt, without even saying anything, that this is what we wanted to do. We wanted to name our son after Gabi.
My wife was already pregnant, and my son was born 3 months later. We decided he'd be called Gabriel Noach to perpetuate the inspiration and the example of all the positive things that we were hearing.
In general, of course, naming a child is a blessing for the child that you wish that this child should aspire to be. I couldn't find anything or anyone more appropriate to name my child after, to give him the will and desire to serve Klal Yisrael, the Jewish people, in the same manner.
The Rebbe always taught us that every situation, we instead of focusing on the negative, we focus on the positive. And where there's a lot of darkness, it just means that we need to bring more light. And we decided to name our son Gabi.
It was something like obvious, something unspoken, but they're gonna give the name, and he will continue, his light will continue through our baby.
It's very emotional and heartwarming to be able to be here and meet with the Gavis and Moshe, his grandfather. We realized through this very sad and tragic event that we are one family of shluchim doing the Rebbe's work.
When my wife suggested naming our son Gabi, she said it's going to remind us of all the beautiful things that Gabi and Rivka stood for. That's the way it was. We have lots of nachas from Gabi, as I'm sure everyone here has nachas from their Gabis, and it's really a beautiful thing.
It's not just these wonderful few Gabis from around the world. They're really representative of the hundreds of Gabis and Rivkis that exist throughout the world. In addition to carrying the responsibility of being an adult, and becoming a bar mitzvah boy, of course, which they'll do as every Jewish child, but they also carry a spark of Gabi and Rivka, which they'll continue to perpetuate through doing Torah and mitzvahs and sharing it with the rest of the world with a big smile.
Having a son named Gabriel Noach, and it has been a constant reminder to focus on that, the various things which have been mentioned here already. Complete dedication, in it 100%, all these various things, the smile, the warmth.
אני מאוד מתרגש לראות אתכם, ככה כל פעם שאני פוגש בגבי אחר, אני כל פעם מתרגש מחדש.
הסיפור של גבי רבקי זה לא שזה היה פעם, אלא אתה רואה את התוצאות עד עכשיו. אז יש לכם זכות ויש לכם את הכוחות, תהיו כולכם שליחים של הרבי, גם אתם עכשיו שליחים של הרבי, אבל נמשיך את השליחות.
לגבי היה דבר אחד, הרבה דברים, אבל הכי גבי תמיד נתן הכל. הוא לא עשה, אוקיי, את הג'אב שלו וזהו. הוא עשה הכל. וכשהוא היה צריך לתת את החיים שלו, הוא נתן הכל. שנזכה לתת הכל, ושנמשיך את האור שלו כולנו. לחיים.
Amen.
חיים, חיים, חיים.